Daha çok şey var başaracak, o yüzlerde unutulmayacak.
Koç topluluğu olarak sanayiden teknolojiye, çevreden turizme, kültür sanata, eğitime, bayrağımızı dünyanın dört bir yanında dalgalandırdığımız başarılar ve ilklerle dolu bir yüzyılı geride bıraktık. Bugün gelecek yüzyılı kutluyoruz. Aynı inanç, aynı vizyon, aynı vatan sevgisiyle. Unutulmayan yüzlerin ışığında, unutulmayacak yüzlere sonsuz teşekkürlerimizle.
Nasıl olur unutulur?
Türkiye'nin en çok ziyaret edilen kredi karşılaştırma platformu Hangi Kredi'ye girin, %0 faizli nakit fırsatlarını kaçırmayın.
Hangi kredi?
Kaçırdım diye üzülme.
Çak çak çak.
Etkileyici hikayeler, en sevdiğin yıldızlar
Beni seviyor musun?
ve unutamadığın performanslar.
Bu arada affedilecek. Kaldığımız yerden devam edilecek. Bu kadar.
Hepsi bir arada, hepsi DiziSmart Max'ta. Türk televizyon tarihinde fırtınalar estiren yerli diziler burada seni bekliyor.
Allah'ın delisi.
İster evde TV ekranında, ister DiziSmart Go'yla her an yanında.
I used to be a legend, so it's agreed. You'll be moving forward with this partnership.
My trio of popcorns! Simon?
Sorry, Liz.
Kenneth, just move!
I'm sorry, who are you?
I was asking myself that same question. He's the star.
This is amazing.
She's an Oscar-nominated actress, occasionally a model, and one of the world's most desirable women.
Am I? I don't know.
Of course, we're talking about the one and only Keira Knightley. The otherworldly beauty does know exactly what it takes to light up a red carpet. Take the 2006 Golden Globes, for example, where a fresh-faced Keira wowed in a white Valentino number. The following year, the British starlet hit the Venice Film Festival to promote her movie Atonement and upped her fashion game, wearing a heavenly Chanel couture dress with a glittery pink bow cinching her waist. As an ambassador of the French fashion house, the brand is often her go-to choice. At the 2010 London Film Festival, Knightley didn't let the cold stop her from looking her best. Spectators chanted her name until she eventually appeared in a Chanel dress with beaded details draped over the chest, shoulders, and back. Back in Venice in 2011, presenting A Dangerous Method, the brunette beauty turned heads in a gold embroidered Valentino couture gown, proving that you don't necessarily have to show some skin to get attention. For the LA premiere of Anna Karenina, Keira had Erdem create a custom mint green satin gown with blue lace embroidery. The stunning starlet paired it perfectly with Chanel diamond earrings and a pop of pink at the lips. In Toronto in 2013, Knightley was the toast of the International Film Festival in this calf-length strapless print dress. She somehow always picks the best designers.
Thank you very much. I'm wearing Mary Katranzu.
Promoting her 2014 thriller Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, she kept things somber, donning a navy Chanel frock with white bow accents. Her signature dark smoky eyes completed the chic, sophisticated look. For that year's Toronto Film Fest, Knightley had two movies on offer. She was an afternoon vision in white for The Imitation Game, choosing an embroidered dress from Chanel. But in the evening, she had to battle the elements for Laggies in a Michael Vanderham gown.
You know, you can really see, like, well, you're trying to sell glamour. It's not working, is it? I mean, really, it's like we're in a wind tunnel, we're getting wet, and the wind is like doing this. So, yeah, what can you do?
As a nominee, the actress chose to debut her baby bump at the 2015 Golden Globes in light blue Chanel. But when attending the Oscars a few weeks later, she opted for another favorite brand of hers, Valentino, and rocked the red carpet in an embroidered tulle gown. After taking some time off from the spotlight to welcome her first child, Knightley returned to the film festival circuit in 2018.
I'm never that comfortable with it, but I'm doing all right now, aren't I? And I'm dressed for it, so I think that's fine.
Flying out to Toronto, she premiered the period drama Colette, wearing a Chanel gown that looks like it might also have come from a different era. She combined the navy blue design with matching jewelry by the French fashion house and bright blue eye makeup. Then she rocked up to the movie's LA premiere, where she stunned in a 1920s-inspired dress with floral embroidery and feathered detailing. And closing out the promotional tour in her home country, she shone bright in another Chanel ensemble at the London Film Festival.
I picked it because it looks cool.
Effortlessly fashionable on red carpets around the world, there's no doubting the style of Keira Knightley. New Zealand director Peter Jackson began making short films as a young boy. After school, he landed a job at the local newspaper to save up for a 16mm camera. And when he finally got it, work began on his debut feature film, the sci-fi horror comedy Bad Taste. Peter continued making well-received smaller movies until he unexpectedly hit the big time when he secured the film rights to J.R.R. Tolkien's iconic trilogy of novels, The Lord of the Rings.
It took us the best part of 2 years from the time that we thought, wouldn't it be fun to make The Lord of the Rings, which is kind of what begins the whole process, to the time that we sort of had the rights and were able to actually start working on scripts and pre-production. It was a 2-year battle, really.
When the first film, The Fellowship of the Ring, was released in 2001, it became an instant hit. But Jackson's focus was already on the next installment, The Two Towers, and on staying true to Tolkien's original vision.
We wanted to take what was obviously important to his heart when he wrote the books and present those on the screen. Themes of nature and the destruction of the environment, and a lot of quite modern ideas actually are in his books.
The 3 movies combined raked in almost $3 billion and took home 17 Oscars. The director, however, was determined not to let success make him complacent.
I mean, no matter how many Oscars you win or how much money the films make at the box office, it's always difficult to try to make any movie the very best film it can be.
In 2005, Jackson returned to cinemas with an equally epic adaptation of King Kong, before making a total change of tone with the supernatural drama The Lovely Bones.
I felt a little bit like I was repeating myself, or in danger of repeating myself after Rings and King Kong. So I'm certainly happy to go back to fantasy films again, but this was a lovely, difficult little project to have to figure out.
But Jackson did return to Middle-earth in 2010 when he was unveiled as the director of Tolkien's prequel, The Hobbit, once again splitting the story up into a trilogy.
I slipped into it easier than I thought I would. I didn't know what to expect, but as soon as we started shooting, it was like putting on a comfortable old sweater.
In November 2012, Jackson arrived home in New Zealand to unveil the first chapter, An Unexpected Journey. It was an experience he didn't quite know how to handle.
I think I'm a very unlikely hero and a slightly uncomfortable one. You know, I'm just as happy to stay at home with a good book and have my feet up in front of the fire. It's not a role that I seek out.
The Hobbit films were also huge successes, largely due to Peter's insistence that despite all the special effects, the movies are really about the characters.
One of the things we found is when we're editing a battle scene, if we go for more than 2 or 3 shots without seeing one of our principal characters, you can actually feel the battle getting kind of boring.
After that trilogy was complete, Jackson spent years developing special film restoration techniques for use in creating his documentary, They Shall Not Grow Old, in which real footage of World War I soldiers is made to look as modern and lifelike as possible.
My dad collected books on the First World War, and so when I'm young, looking at our tiny little bookshelf at home, and most of the books were First World War books, so I used to read those.
But Peter's never far from fantastical blockbusters, returning in 2018 as writer and producer of the post-apocalyptic adventure, Mortal Engines.
The script ultimately is the hard part, because if you get that wrong, you're stuffed. You're stuffed from day one before you've even got the first base.
For Peter Jackson, matching the success of his first trilogy is never the goal. He simply hopes he can inspire people along the way.
If there's people young kids that are going to watch The Hobbit that in 20 or 30 years are going to become filmmakers or screenwriters, then that would be fantastic.
was accepting when my passage out here was paid. To marry a man I'd never set eyes on before.
I like the look of you. We've waited 12 years for this.
You have been brought here as the property of your husband, and you will behave accordingly.
What if these men have been on their own for so long they're not men anymore?
If we are to be free, we must possess their minds, their souls.
Şifreler de diş fırçası gibidir. Kimseyle paylaşmayın ve muhakkak birkaç ayda bir değiştirin.
In this episode of Zoom In, Pedro Pascal stars as a lone bounty hunter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. Star Wars: The Mandalorian.
They said you were coming. They said you were the best in the parsec. Would you agree?
Also starring Carl Weathers, Gina Carano, and Werner Herzog, the live-action franchise is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Don't you agree?
Distributed by Disney+.
Please lower your blaster.
Have them lower theirs first.
We have you 4-1.
I like those odds.
Production budget $100 million.
Is the world more peaceful since the revolution?
Directed by Jon Favreau, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Deborah Chow.
Is the world more peaceful since the revolution? It is a shame that your people suffered. But bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Star Wars seems to be the invention of an entire universe. It's not just science fiction. Science fiction is more technical. This is something much bigger.
This is about a Mandalorian who travels from system to system, trying to make his way through the galaxy and encountering the vestiges of what came before and the green shoots of what is yet to come.
Jack de Gratu! Ubahasa Biokala. Atuta Bando. Gispi Ubahasa Biokala. He says you spilled his drink. It's fine. It's on me. Salary Beskar. Here.
I love that this is new, all new characters, all new, like, so many places that we can take this.
I think that was actually one of the It's new characters, so everything, like, you know, even though we feel like we know so much, everything was original and new, which was really exciting.
This is one of those kind of out of the blue opportunities that you don't even know how to, like, dream for something that magnificent.
will help you.
I got to see, before anything, all of the fans, and it just makes me understand the beauty of creating something like this for people like them.
The name Star Wars carries so much weight around the world, and now The Mandalorian will hopefully be an installment of it that people will love as well.
Mandalorian, look outside. They are waiting for you.
Yeah? Good.
So that's a wrap on Star Wars The Mandalorian. See you next time we zoom in.
Bu diziyi dilerseniz Türkçe dublajlı, dilerseniz kumandanızın sarı tuşuna basarak orijinal dilinde Türkçe altyazılı izleyebilirsiniz.